Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Katrina Mass, joined by Ted Ings, and we are here in Houston, Texas at Mike Calvert Toyota. Right now we have an incredible panel. We have Ashleigh Norton and Dave Perry from BLiNK AI, and of course we have Matt Winston from Mike Calvert Toyota, who's the Fixed Operations Director. So thank you all for joining us today.
Sure.
Good here.
And Matt, thank you so much for having us in.
Yeah.
What a great time to talk about telematics, okay? And to have here with us Dave Perry and Ashleigh Norton from BLiNK AI. First of all, congratulations on all the success you're having with the telematics.
Thank you, Jed. Thank you.
All right, Dave, walk us through a little bit on telematics. What is it? How does it work? And why is it so important right now for dealers to be focused on that?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question, Ted. Well, virtually all cars, I think it's 95% of cars are connected cars, so they're providing all sort of telematic information up into the cloud, to the OEM, and ultimately to the dealer. And if you think about it, these are cars that are screaming for service. They're telling you, the dealership, that, hey, we need service, get us in. The difficult part is that what we call the last mile, which is now who's going to reach out to all these people. In many cases, a high volume dealership like Mike Calvert here, they'll get 5,000 or 10,000 alerts on a monthly basis. That's a lot of manpower to try to do that outreach for a busy BDC. And so we've automated that entire process. So we reach out to the customers who have very sophisticated ways that we do it. So we minimize the engagement with the customer, so it makes it very simple, but we make it actionable. It's not just alerting them that their car needs service, but it gives them a way to book a service instantaneously and drive them in. So that's why we're so excited about it. And from the reaction from the dealers are very excited about it as well, Ted.
I've heard you use that term, the last mile, as well.
Yes, we've used that term many times because the OEMs created all of the alerts and they're going somewhere, but nobody solved for that kind of what they calls the last mile, which is the actual communication with the customer to get them back into the dealership and increase their retention numbers and increase their service visits.
Matt, how important is this to dealers like you right all this time?
Yeah, it absolutely gives me peace of mind knowing that every customer I have in my Service Connect is getting an alert, is getting contacted in one way, shape, or form. So the fact that this goes out to every customer, gives them a link to schedule an appointment, so it takes that human element out of it. It's a game changer.
Yeah. So Ashleigh, what would you like to see more from partners in this space? Not in terms of features, but in terms of solving real pain points. What would you like to see more from them?
Yeah, I think when we look at our partners, our dealer partners, our similar vendor partners, I just want to see us all work together more, right? Work harder for each other and with each other, where all of these systems are not so siloed, all the data is not so segmented, where we can actually drive real impact for the dealership.
Yeah, of course. Dave, what about you?
Well, I'll just follow on to what Ashleigh said there. There's a lot of walled gardens in this space here. There's a lot of data pockets between the DMS and the OEM and so forth like that. And it's to the industry's benefit to break down some of those walls, create some standards. And we're very early into the process, but it's for the benefit of the entire industry, but especially for the customer to be able to connect all this data together.
Absolutely. And then Matt, from the retail perspective, what do you hope to see from these partners in terms of solving these real pain points and getting more from them?
Yeah, I'd have to agree that the integration pain points of, having tools, being able to pull data but not be able to push data, is kind of frustrating on our point. So, it doesn't remove the human aspect of it completely, but the customer's getting outreach, but someone still has to go in and manually adjust the alerts on what we're doing. So the integration standpoint would be most helpful.
Absolutely.
Ashleigh, when you and I were in New York recently at the World Trade Center, Brian Benstock was our keynote speaker and did a fantastic job, obviously. And he talked about the importance of, when we talk about automation or AI, it's not man versus machine. It's going to be man with machine, okay? So talk a little bit about that, how automation is going to play a part in bridging the gap between the vehicle, the customer, and ultimately the product as well.
Yeah, we always say automate what can be automated, right? Take some of that human manual labor that
that we can adjust and give them something more high value to work on if they can automate the communications between the OEM, the customer, and ultimately the dealership.
Dave, you're really going to make the dealer's job a lot easier because this data is available, and now you're going to put it into play where they're going to have usable and actionable information that can help the customer.
Absolutely, because when that customer books, not only are they booking a time and a place to bring their car in to get it serviced, but we also provide that information back into the appointment for the dealer to say, okay, we know what car's coming, we know what that alert is, we can prepare for it. It involves some part you could check in advance that that part is available before you actually bring the customer into the drive. But also when you're reaching out to people in any sort of automated way, there's a certain portion that just won't convert. And so we'll take it through a few attempts on the automation standpoint, but then we'll escalate that to the BDC to make sure that every customer is reached out to.
So Matt, your dealership, we saw here today, does a great job with greeting the customer out of their car. The advisor walking around the car, looking at the customer with their needs, at the primary concern, documenting things. I would imagine having this data is now going to make that, over time, even more efficient because the advisor will have access to all this information that we didn't have before.
Yeah, I mean, AI seems to be everywhere nowadays, so having those tools that help save everybody time, be able to utilize them, is going to be a game changer.
Dave, it seems that time is becoming the most valuable commodity, okay,
Yes.
for all human beings.
Yes.
We've said in the past, the customer might not do some work or repair because of price, but really time is the big issue, and this is a huge time saver for everybody.
It is a huge time saver, but time can be measured in a couple of ways. And part of it too is any latency. So once that alert goes off, if you don't contact that customer for 3 or 4 days, one, they may have had a good opportunity to take it to some other service organization first or ignore it. I mean, imagine if you got a teenage kid driving your car around, you may never hear about that alert. And so it gets the owner the alert, it allows them to be able to book that appointment very quickly. So to the degree that we can be real time in reaching out to that customer literally moments after the alert occurs, it's also satisfying to the customer if they know that, well, this is just an engine, oil change slide versus something that may be safety involved that you want them to be aware of. And so we can provide a lot of information too.
And Matt, Mike Calvert Toyota, Fixed Ops Roundtable certified dealer, thank you so much for doing that. You're actually involved with BLiNK AI as well.
Yeah.
In doing all this.
So we signed up about a month ago, and I'm really excited to see 90 days worth of data. But I think we had 114 converted appointments, and a ton of alerts that went out that got answered. So again, like I said in the beginning, it gives me complete peace of mind knowing that every customer is getting contacted.
Right. On behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable, Ashleigh, Dave, thank you for being a big part of what we do, and you're a Fixed Ops Roundtable certified partner. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. And let me say thanks to Matt, because it's dealers like you that we work with, that we learn. I mean, we got all of our great ideas from our dealers. And so working with you, we learn things every day that we can go back and put into our products. So thank you, Matt.
Well, thank you.
Everybody, if you haven't heard the name yet, it's BLiNK AI. BLiNK AI, they're all over social media, and they're taking the world by storm with the new Telematica product. It's available now. It's here at Mike Calvert Toyota in Houston, Texas. On behalf of the Roundtable, everybody, thank you for all you do for the industry. Katrina and I will be right back.